Close your eyes and visualize a single moniker with enough voltage to flip the K-pop industry's power switch in a heartbeat. It compels the high-level suits, the obsession-fueled fan armies, and the worldwide press to freeze in their tracks and reassess who actually wears the crown. The name on everyone's lips, Rosé. When Billboard slipped that latest ranking out to the public, the fallout was absolutely deafening, far from the whisper they might have expected. Smashing into spot number 14 wasn't a mundane list refresh. It was a seismic tremor tearing through the K-pop landscape, laying bare the shifting pecking order in a timeline where the battle for supremacy is bloodier than ever. For ages, this machine ran on tightly scripted fairy tales where the collective brand crushed personal identity and female stars were shoved into neat, predictable little boxes. Rosé didn't just step out of line, she obliterated the status quo. Claiming the throne as the top charting K-pop female wasn't just a nice gesture, it was a direct challenge. It questioned every old rule about who deserves the world's eyes and the real reasons behind it. In a scene drowning in manufactured perfection and robotic precision, her vibe hit different, unfiltered bleeding emotion and carrying a silent, rebellious edge. But peel back the glory and you find a suffocating tension. Triumphs this massive don't happen in a vacuum. When one star ascends, the pressure cooker intensifies everywhere else. One headline can rewrite the political map inside squads, agencies, and fan bases. Her win lit a powder keg of debate, not just about vocal chops, but about who's the favorite child, calculated marketing pushes, and that shadow war between idols who link arms on camera but are clawing for their lives when the curtains close. See, Billboard doesn't hand out trophies for buzz alone. It tracks raw impact, staying power, and cultural gravity. And that is exactly where this narrative takes a sinister turn. To climb this high, Rosé had to survive years under the microscope, facing impossible standards and the crushing weight of carrying her team and her own soul. In this game, evolving rips a piece of you away, and fame is a double-edged sword, a golden crown that doubles as a target for brutal conflict. Don't mistake this for a simple victory lap. This is the prologue to a much heavier saga, a tale of shifting thrones, hushed feuds, and that terrifying tightrope walk between glory and a mental breakdown in the global idol factory. Don't go anywhere because the next beat reveals how a single win can rewrite the entire script. Hit that subscribe button and keep your eyes glued. This drama is just getting started. Her ascent wasn't a solo flight in empty space, and that's the spark for the real friction. In the claustrophobic biodome of K-pop, winning alone is a dangerous game, especially when you break out from a monolith like Blackpink. While the blogs were popping champagne over her chart numbers, the gears behind the curtain started grinding in much messier, more complex rhythms. The hierarchy inside these agencies is spun from glass. When one girl's halo burns too bright, it inevitably casts long, cold shadows over everyone standing next to her. In this world, you can't escape the side-by-side analysis. Every ranking, every trophy, every nod from the West turns into a silent scoreboard. Rosé's moment poured gasoline on the old fire, debating true artistry against corporate manufacturing. Whispers among the suits suggest this might be the death knell for the group first model, pivoting to solo empires, a shift the labels crave for cash but dread for control. When the puppets outgrow the theater, the strings get impossible to pull. The anxiety bleeds right into the fan armies, love morphs into rivalry, and pride curdles into defense. The timeline turned into a battlefield, not just hyping Rosé, but tearing apart every disparity in budget, screen time, and artistic license. In the K-pop verse, optics beat facts every time, and a story can spiral into a war by sunrise. What starts as pure worship twists into a toxic burden on the other members to equal or beat that score. And right in the eye of this hurricane stands Rosé, shouldering a weight way heavier than a melody. As a woman breaking into a boys' club chart system, her victory is dissected with scalpels sharp enough to draw blood. One slip-up gets blown up on the jumbo screen, while every win is dismissed as a marketing trick rather than grit. Welcome to the K-pop paradox: the higher you fly, the thinner the air gets. But this is bigger than locker room tension. It uncovers a raw truth about the game's evolution. You can't silence the solo voices anymore. The stars are done being cogwheels in the corporate engine. Rosé's chart position is the line in the sand, a pivot point that could rewrite the rulebook on how influence, self, and rivalry crash into each other in the modern era. As Rosé's gravity grew, the telescope inevitably swung to the other titan holding up the sky in this ecosystem, Lisa. While Rosé was rewriting the thesis on vocal cred and artistry, Lisa's aura sparked a whole different beast, a reaction fueled by sheer mass hysteria, cultural dominance, and hard cash flow. The clash of these two stories fed the rumor mill not of a catfight, but of two queens conquering parallel universes of stardom. Success here isn't just streams, it's reach, it's iconography, it's the power to move bodies. Lisa is a glitch in the matrix, an idol whose sway bleeds out of the screen and dictates real-world economics, scaring governments and CEOs alike. Every time she steps out, signs a deal, or stands next to someone, markets move. That kind of voltage brings a terrifying pressure, not just for her, but for the entire industry riding on her coattails. The silent killer here is expectation. At this altitude, you stop being a human and become an asset class. Her schedule isn't a calendar, it's a strategic war room involving brand equity, national pride, and iron-fisted corporate grip. For Lisa, holding the world in her palm means adoration, sure, but also the heavy yoke of being the poster child for K-pop's global conquest. If she blinks or pivots, the panic and rumors start flying. Here's where the dream rots. The crowd sees glory, but the insiders see a ticking bomb. Too much FaceTime kills the mystery. Too much silence breeds conspiracy theories. Every breath has to be math, yet fans are screaming for something real. Lisa's clout exposes the brutal trap of modern idols stuck between being a flesh and blood person and a multinational institution. With Rosé redefining the art and Lisa embodying the culture, the industry is staring down a barrel of a very awkward question. Can this machine keep juggling individual egos and total control when the stars are burning hotter than the galaxy that made them? The jury's out, but the pressure gauge is in the red. As the biz tries to digest these twin titans, the dark engine of K-pop starts to show its gears. Behind the confetti and clicks is a meat grinder of brutal itineraries, gag orders, and psychological survival. For icons like Rosé and Lisa, winning doesn't let you rest, it tightens the screws. Every gold record jacks up the stakes not just for them, but for every other soul trapped in that gladiator pit. The labels are now choking on a dilemma of their own design. The world wants unique stars, but the business model is addicted to obedient soldiers. When your talent gets big enough to sway stock markets and national vibes, managing them becomes a game of Russian roulette. Artistic soul crashes into the corporate wall, and the boundary between backing a star and bleeding them dry gets razor thin. In this Shark Tank, even a compliment feels like a snare. The public eye just cranks up the heat. They cheer for strong, independent queens, but demand a 24/7 content machine. Show a hint of burnout, you're analyzed. Take a break, you're interrogated. The toll on the soul stays hidden until it leaks out dead eyes, weird interview answers, or erratic career U-turns. In K-pop, nobody has time for your vulnerability. The fight isn't just about rankings anymore, it's a war for influence. Who owns the story? Who owns the souls of the fans? These questions feed the silent cold wars and chess moves, pitting artist against artist and agency against agency. With the industry going global at light speed, every Twitch is live-streamed to the planet, leaving zero sanctuary to lick your wounds in private. It's a twisted paradox. K-pop peddles a fantasy of family and glitter, yet its biggest gods often walk a lonely path, crushed under expectations that would break a normal human. As god-tier power pools around a few chosen ones, the whole structure starts to groan and buckle, and when the pressure gets this critical, something is guaranteed to snap. Honey, look closer. This isn't just about solo fame anymore. It is a total violent shakeup of the K-pop dynasty's very bones. With Rosé's acclaim and Lisa's worldwide grip, they aren't just pretty dolls from a factory. They are dangerous queens rewriting the whole unfair script. Old kings tremble as this new wave hits, forcing labels and fans to ask who is really wearing the crown. In a game rigged for obedience, their wild, untamed unpredictability is the scary new ghost haunting the very dark boardrooms. But darling power bleeds. As they rise, the chains of expectation get heavier. Every win brings jealous eyes, every quiet moment sparks a nasty lie, and one wrong move could burn their whole world down to pure ashes. Stardom isn't just glory, it is a lonely cage. While fans scream love from afar, the walls close in tight backstage. This is the dark secret they hide under the lights, the crushing, silent burden of being the one everyone needs. K-pop is staring down a loaded gun. Can it handle icons who are bigger than the paper they signed? Or will the suits try to squeeze harder only to watch the entire kingdom crack and shatter? Now the world wakes up, the fake smiles and strict rules can't hide the real tension anymore. K-pop's fate hangs by a thread, waiting to see if they heal this mess or let it burn. Make no mistake, Rosé and Liza aren't just one-offs. They are the first sparks of a wildfire that will scorch the old K-pop era. The crown is being stolen, and trust me, the fallout is just starting to get really chaotic. Craving the tea on the drama, the dirt, and the secret lies hidden in the shadows? Then you better move fast. Smash that subscribe, like this vid, drop your hottest take below, and don't blink because the next slice of K-pop's dark, twisted nightmare is about to drop right here.